bouncing ideas off friends, and most importantly, my family, my wife Annika, my sons Luke and Blake. I was talking to Blake this morning, he's 9, and he said, "Dad, just be silly. If you talk, they're going to fall asleep." And Luke said, "Dad, just don't be boring." I'll try not to. In the end, I decided all I could really do today was tell you in 8 quick minutes the story of my career, how it began, where it ended up, and maybe a couple of things along the way that I've learned. I think my story is about how in a life full of changes, some invited, some completely unforeseen, it's not just about your ability to adapt, but your ability to stay the same. To know who you are and still recognize yourself no matter where you are on that path. When I left Marist, I had a very clear idea of what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and that was to be a broadcast journalist. Along the way, I veered into law enforcement and now work in finance, and I never saw those careers coming. For the first 16 years, I worked my way up through a series of jobs in radio and television until I made it to New York, and I was reporting for CBS News. I loved being a reporter. It had purpose and meaning. It was fun and exciting. I got to meet and interview amazing people and cover amazing stories. I had the honor of anchoring on September 11th and trying to help people make sense of what was happening on that terrible day to our city and to our country. It was a career I could only have dreamed of. And then one day, I got a phone call. It was an early Saturday morning in 2001, and that call changed the direction of my life. Michael Bloomberg had just been elected mayor, and he named Ray Kelly as his incoming police commissioner. And Ray Kelly was calling me, I think it was 7 o'clock in the morning, to ask if I'd be interested in joining the NYPD as a deputy commissioner, acting as the department's chief spokesperson. I was honored and excited. Ray Kelly was someone I deeply admired, and I would be joining his team at a historic time in the history of New York. This was only 8 weeks after 9/11. Ground Zero was still burning. Bodies were still being recovered. National Guard troops were still patrolling the streets of Manhattan. And there was still a very real fear that another terror attack could happen at any time. I talked the offer over with my wife Annika, and I accepted the job. And while I was thrilled, another part of me deep inside was unsure. Was I making a mistake leaving CBS just as my career was taking off there? Would I be any good at my new job? Would I succeed? Would I fail? And some of these were real concerns. I had never managed anyone in my life, and now I'd be managing 40 people in one of the busiest press offices in the country. I was also coming in as a 36-year-old outsider, a civilian joining a leadership team made up of NYPD veterans in their 50s and 60s. Would they accept me? I pushed those doubts aside and I started my new career. Now, there are 100 small things that I could point to tell you about how I made that adjustment to the NYPD. But in reality, everything changed in that one night that Julie mentioned, just 8 days into my tenure, and it started with another phone call. This time the call came at midnight from a sergeant informed me that a detective had been taken hostage inside the 19th Precinct Station House on the Upper East Side. A man was holding a 9mm to the back of the detective's head, threatening to kill him unless he could talk to a reporter and tell the world about his conspiracy theories. Since I had been a reporter recently, I was quickly drafted into that role. The detective was being held in an interrogation room with a one-way mirror so police could see what was happening inside of that room. And the Emergency Service Unit, which is the NYPD's version of the SWAT team, had set up 2 sniper positions ready to take that gunman out on a moment's notice. On the other side of the door was the hostage negotiator who was trying to engage the gunman. Minutes later, I found myself standing next to that negotiator behind a Kevlar shield, wearing a flak jacket and a helmet, with 15 heavily armed officers behind me ready to storm the room. For the next few hours, we tried to reason with the gunman and convince him to release the detective, and every time we thought we were getting there, he'd have a flash of anger, threaten to kill the detective unless we listened to more of his rantings. As the night wore on, I wondered how this would end. There were several outcomes, and 2 of them were very bad. What if I said the wrong thing? What if I used the wrong tone? I felt the weight of that detective's life in my hands. And behind me stood the police commissioner in the top brass of the department, watching and listening as the night played out. And outside, behind the police tape, were dozens of reporters, my old colleagues, covering the story. After 3 hours, the gunman gave up, the officer stormed the room, and the detective was released unharmed. And I learned a lot about myself that night. That I could keep my composure under extreme pressure, that I would never really be prepared for all that life could throw at me, and that sometimes good communication is the difference between life and death. After that night, I was immediately accepted by the top brass of the department. I had proved myself. And as I grew into that job, I learned that the part I had dreaded the most, managing people, was something that I liked the most. And I noticed that in the 16 years I'd worked as a journalist, no boss had ever asked my opinion on anything of substance. And now the police commissioner of New York was asking my advice on major issues. I thrived under that pressure, I loved the responsibility, and I was growing as a person. 2 years later, I got another call. A friend had recommended me to the CEO of Merrill Lynch, and I was offered a job running corporate communications for one of the largest firms on Wall Street. I was thrilled, but again, there was another part of me, deep inside, that was unsure. Was I leaving the NYPD just as my career there was thriving? What did I know about Wall Street? Would I succeed? Would I fail? But I pushed those fears aside and I took the job. And for the next 3 years, it was great. Every quarter was better than the last. And then the credit crisis hit, and Merrill Lynch began to melt down. The CEO I worked for was ousted, and the company was later sold to Bank of America. But even in the worst of that crisis, I found the work rewarding. I was helping senior management navigate its way through the crisis. And I always knew, no matter how bad it got on Wall Street, it was never a matter of life and death. I knew the difference. I've noticed a few themes in my career. Almost every job I've gotten has come from a friendship or relationship I've had with someone who believed in me. Take care of your professional relationships. Be there for people. Go out of your way for them. Every time I was offered a new opportunity, there was a side of me that resisted because I wasn't sure I was ready for that next step. But I don't think you can ever really be ready for the next chapter. When you are presented with opportunities and hear those doubts, listen to them. Weigh the pros and cons. Not every opportunity will be right. But don't let the fear that you may have trap you in a small life when you want a big life. There are many things you can't control in your career, like a hostage situation or a credit crisis. But you can control yourself, how you carry yourself, how hard you work, how you treat people, how many times you decide to answer the phone call in the middle of the night. Of course, in the end, I'm happy those calls came, and I'm happy that I took them, because here's the thing. When I left Marist, I knew exactly what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I'm so glad I was so wrong. Thank you, and congratulations.
He did a great job.